Hi, welcome to the Knitty Knotty podcast. I'm Vanessa, Knitty Witch on Instagram and Ravelry.
And I'm Diane. I'm Freedom for You on Ravelry and the Knotted Bag on Instagram and Etsy. And welcome to Knitty Knotty.
You look so cute in that hat. I can't even.
I would wear it today. I've been wearing it all week and making people laugh, and I've gotten a lot of compliments on it. And
It's
then
awesome.
Eh? What did you say?
I said it's awesome.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't hear you. And then I caught myself doing the Canadian A.
Well, you are wearing your maple leaf shawl, so it's making you extra Canadian today.
I do a lot of knitting, so I thought I'd wear all the wool today. I don't know how long I can keep this on either. I thought I would start with it, but it's actually, I'm already getting hot. But this is by Tiny Owl Knit. It's the reindeer hat that, I keep saying I rewatched Us and I love Us, but I don't like that I keep saying and like, so I really need to try to stop doing that.
I say like a lot. So.
Yeah. So this is by Tiny Owl Knits, and I had knitted this back in 2013, I think, when we went to Rhinebeck. It was the thing. Everybody was wearing them. And
I remember that. I remember there were so many of them.
Yeah, and people would walk around in gaggles of, I don't know if you call them gaggles, groups of people wearing reindeer. I call them gaggles of people wearing this hat. So I love it. I don't wear it all winter, but I wear it this time of year. It's really fun. And as I tell everybody, I will never make another one because it's, I'm glad I have it. I made it, but it's a lot of work because you have to make the ears separately, then attach them, and the antlers are knitted and felted and then attached. So it's a lot of fiddly work. Yeah. Oh, and this is my maple leaf. I think I'm gonna take the hat on and just keep the shawl on because it's a lot of wool for the indoors. For the outdoors, it would be perfect. So this is, you see it?
Yep.
I think I did this in 2014. This is when I was saying last week that I spun really, really feverishly before I had surgery, so I would have the yarn to knit it. And I think because I spun it so fast, it's actually a little, I think it might be overspun. Like the yarn is not, it's soft, but it's very twisty. That's not a very technical term, but that's what I'm saying.
Well, the yarn color is perfect for that pattern.
Yeah, this is that fiber that I keep forgetting the name of it. Kim.
Fiber optics?
Yes. What would I do without you? Fiber optics.
I don't know.
It's 2 gradients. Oh, I just hit my phone. It's 2 gradients of fiber optics that I think I bought at Maryland and then spun up. So, how are you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I have had a lot of, let's say, I've been thinking a lot about my knitting because this is the episode to frog or not to frog.
Right.
Right. So I think you're going to be a little surprised.
No.
Should I go?
You're not gonna frog the Groot thing. You're not gonna tell me you're gonna frog the Groot. The hooded one.
I'll get there.
Oh.
All right. So we talked last week about whether or not I was going to whether or not I was going to frog the Adama cowl. So the Adama cowl is, I was going to say, let me check my phone, but I'm actually recording on my phone. I'm not sure who the pattern is by. I'll throw it up on the screen. But now that I'm looking at it a second time, I'm starting to think that I actually like it and I might not frog it. So this is the Adama cowl.
I'm going to look it up on my phone while you're talking. It's pretty.
And I thought that since the yarn was fuzzy that the pattern was lost in it, but then looking at it a second time, it's actually not.
How do you spell it?
Adama. So I am knitting this out of Cascade Yarns Eco Duo, which is an alpaca mix. And it's really soft, and it's got like a little bit of various colors in it, like various tones of light beige.
Oh, yeah.
So it's knitting up really pretty. The only thing I'm afraid of, I use Knit Companion, so I should be pretty good, but I'm just really afraid that when I pick up the pattern, because I was looking at the pattern and where I left off, and I like don't remember exactly where I left off, even though I marked it. But sometimes when I mark things in the pattern or on Knit Companion, I don't mark it exact. So I have to figure out where I was and where I left off and get back into knitting this.
So I always thought, oh, I'll just remember things in my brain. And then I waste so much time trying to figure out where I am.
Mm-hmm.
I print off my pattern and I highlight. And so I highlight the row I've just finished. Especially if it's, you know, the one I showed you last week, the cardigan.
The fuzziness from that is getting up my nose. Yeah, I do remember the pattern.
That was like just a triangle. It's so much, it's pages and pages and pages of pattern. I would get so lost. So every time I finish a row, I highlight it so that I know for sure that I finished it. So there's no more, you know, questioning and trying to figure out. So you're thinking to keep that one now?
Yeah, now I'm thinking I might keep it because it's actually looking kind of nice.
Nice.
But I'm afraid that I'm not gonna be able to pick up the pattern now, and that I might have to frog it and like start over or something to figure out. I mean, I don't know.
You can figure it out.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It looks like, I know it has a lot of like repeats and stuff, so I think I picked up at like the next repeat or left off at like the next repeat, so I should be fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the other thing I'm thinking about frogging is the sugar coated sweater. Here it is.
I can't agree to that.
All right, so it's getting yellow. So
is that the hood, or you got further?
No, that's the wrong side. I got further. So here I am. I keep putting it off.
Oh my gosh. It's amazing.
Here we are. So I feel like the Emperor from Star Wars.
What kind of again?
Huh?
Is it DK or worsted? I can't remember.
It's worsted. It's Malabrigo Rios in the Wales Road colorway. So I'm looking at this and I'm looking at the color, which is these gorgeous shades of, oh good, I got the yarn in my mouth. Which is gorgeous shades of purple and blue. The problem with it is that, I don't know if you can see that. The problem with it is that it's too blue. I'm never going to wear it.
Oh.
It's too blue. It's not my color. I'm like looking at it and I'm just like,
if you really want it, just give it to me. I love blue.
Well, I mean, I like the yarn in the skein, and I like it, I think, for like a different sweater, but I don't want it for this sweater.
All around your face and
and like the whole point of the sugar coated was that it's like a coat, so I want to wear it with like everything all the time, and this just isn't gonna match like anything that I mean I wear black a lot, but still it's just not making me happy. It's not making me as happy as I thought it would. So what I did was, originally I had wanted to knit it in this colorway. It's also Malabrigo Rios in the Pearl 10 colorway. This is the black. Why is one of my lights, hold on, I'm gonna turn one of these lights. Okay, that's better. Maybe not. So it's like a black, and it's Pearl 10. The problem is I only had 9 of these skeins, and you need 10 for the pattern. So what I did this morning was I went online to Paradise Fibers. They had 20% off today, flash sale, and I got a skein of Pearl 10, but it's a completely different dye lot because they're dyed in sets of 10. So this dye lot is done. Like I had 10 of them, but when I had my shop, I sold one. So the 10th skein went to a really nice baby blanket. But what I'm thinking I will do is when I get to the bottom of the pattern has the ribbing on the bottom, and it has ribbing on the cuffs.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So I was thinking with that 10th skein, the one that doesn't match, if I have enough yarn, I can alternate it into the ribbing, or at the very least knit the ribbing on the end of the sweater and on the sleeves with the skein that doesn't match.
Yeah.
And then it can be a design element, because I think that I'm just gonna like this a lot more and wear it a lot more than wearing the blue. And it hurts because I've gotten so far. And also it is a little fiddly in the beginning to do the hat the way the hood's constructed. And I don't want to do it again, but I'm gonna.
But now you know how to do it, right? Because the first time you had questions and you weren't sure. Now you know how to do it. So it'll be easier, don't you think?
Yeah, it'll definitely be easier. And I don't know. I want to go on with it, but
what I would do is I knew you were going to say that sweater. I would knew it. I would keep that one aside. Like if you need the needles, put them on a piece of yarn or something. Just set it aside to make sure you want to frog it, and then start your other one. That's what I would do.
I need these needles though. These are my signatures.
I just said if you need the needles, just put your live.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But my thought was that I was just gonna like a Band-Aid. I was just gonna rip it off and just start over.
Just do it now.
Just go for it. Well, I would do it now, but I have a current work in progress. But before we get to that, what do you have that you're working on?
The same freaking thing, and I'm really kind of over it. But so we don't put out the video as soon as we record, obviously, because you do some editing and stuff, and we both have lives and jobs. Right now it's Sunday. What are we? The 6th? We're like a week out.
It's the 16th, and I'm gonna try to get this video edited tomorrow.
Oh, it's okay. Like it's no rush. I'm just saying. For perspective, today's Sunday the 16th, so Christmas is a week from Tuesday. And I think I'll have this done, but I have to be completely monogamous. I may take a break today. I might take a break off. I'm saying that, but I'm already feeling like the desire to knit on it. But it's gotten quite long. Look at it. Wait.
Yeah, you're doing really good. You're like almost there. You're in the final stretch.
See?
It looks so awesome.
Ball number 3 is down to this. And ball number 4. And one ball is 50 grams because this was, again, this yarn is Fab Funky Fibers, and it came in two skeins or balls, two skeins to do socks, which I've realized now that I've knitted them and balled them up, what I didn't know at the time is each skein was different, which is really cool, which means you would have had 2 different socks in the same colors, but the striping is all different. So what I've done in the scarf is I started, obviously this is just a different yarn that I did for the ribbing, but I did that first one, went up here, and then I started knitting the other quarter, and it's a completely different striping. What would you call that? Striping pattern, yeah.
You know what? If you wouldn't have showed me, I would have never known.
No, but it's not like, oh, there's something wrong with it. I think it's really cool. So then what I used for number 1 is the one I used for the 3rd part. And then what I used for the 2nd part is what I'll use for the 4th part.
Okay.
And then it will wrap. I was thinking last night, oh, can I just stop after this ball, please? But it's not long enough. Like, it will be perfect with the 4. But see, right now, if I stopped, it would be a little.
Oh yeah, that's not long enough.
But with 4, it'll be amazing. So I should be able to show it completely finished next week.
Yeah, but you're in the final countdown.
I started the 3rd ball after swimming class. That's swimming class Wednesday. I took a picture of it because I had a very little amount left and forgot to bring the 3rd ball. Went to swimming. I had like this much left and I was like, done. And I didn't have the next ball.
Oh.
I remember when I started ball number 3 and today's Sunday and I have this. So doing this is completely doable in the rest of the week, but I've had to put aside everything else in order to get this done. I'm bound and determined to get this done. I'm excited to get it done. I did do a little bit of knitting on my hat just to get it moving a little, but not a lot. That's the hat that I'm designing. Can I talk about something else that there's another thing that I'm working on designing. Maybe I'll talk about it when I'm actually knitting on it again. Never mind. You were. Disregard.
That's okay. We're so funny.
Eh?
We do this all the time.
I know. It's the big blanket shawl that I'm working on. The Ruana. I just haven't really talked about it yet, but maybe I need to finish it before I talk about it. And then I have knitted and worsted, and I've already planned how I want to knit a version of it in lace. So I've got to look through my stash for the lace, and I haven't finished the worsted version. I haven't made the pattern yet, and I'm already thinking of like how I can reknit it in something else. What would you like to talk about?
All right. Well, let me talk about how I went to my local yarn store and I came out with, I keep telling myself I'm not going to buy any more yarn from that yarn store because I think that every time I go in there, it's going to be the same stuff, but she keeps getting new stuff. I know. It's so awesome. So a lot of times yarn stores, they don't like, there's one in Maryland I go to and I don't really see that they get new stuff very frequently. They're well stocked, but I don't ever see anything like that awes me most of the time. But every time I go into this one, the one that's close to me, the Yarn Maven, I'm always like awed by something that she got in. So she did get in some gradient kits and I had to like put it down because I was going to buy it. And I was like, no, I don't need this right now. I just bought a gradient kit. But I saw some Christmas yarn from the Knitted Wit.
So pretty.
And I don't know why I think that I could finish this by Christmas, but I am trying.
I think you will. I think you will. You've done so much.
I think I will too. So this is I'm knitting, and this is funny because we talked about this, about knitting patterns that you've already knit before. So I'm knitting another Karina shawl because here it is, and I'm in the middle of a row, so it's kind of like hard to open it up.
Did you bring your other one that's finished?
No, I'm actually going to throw a picture of it up. So, so my Karina shawl, I knit in Rayon Metallic by Blue Heron Yarns in the McCall colorway. So that one I love. It came out absolutely gorgeous and I wear it all the time. But what was perfect for and why I chose this pattern again is because this skein only has 400 yards. So when I was trying to find a pattern that had only 400 yards, I came across like a ton of lace patterns, but lace isn't going to show off the beauty of like the patterning in the yarn. And that's why I love the Karina shawl so much, is because it has nice thick sections of stockinette, and then it has a lace row and a drop stitch row, and then it goes into stockinette and it alternates. So it shows off the yarn really, really well. This yarn is a little busy, as you can see.
And it's a crescent, right?
It is a crescent. Yep, this is a crescent shawl, and I wear it like a scarf. So I turn it around and I wear it this way.
Yeah.
And I love it. So it had the right yardage. It had the right patterning for it. So I said, screw it. I already have the pattern. I'm just going to knit another one. And I'm going to try to finish this by Christmas.
You know what? I think I'm going to put a thread in our group, our little Ravelry group. It's little so far, but I think I'm going to put a thread up for patterns that people like for one skein of soft yarn. Because
Yes.
I talked about this before. This is the thing for me of finding that perfect pattern for one skein of yarn. This is one, because we've also talked about how we don't like small shawls. I have to tell you, even this maple leaf shawl, I don't know, I'm not sure I could reblock it to make it grow anymore, but now that I've lost weight, it fits a little better. But I have to say, like, I can't really wrap this around the front. Like, there's no long end to it. So it just kind of sits on the back, which is great. You have to almost have an outfit that matches it in order for it to work, but it's not a super practical shawl, and it's not the size and the shape of it is weird. Like, it doesn't fit very well. So it's fun to find that pattern that works for one skein of soft yarn for the different kinds of, like you say, variegated, or then, you know, obviously you have the self-striping, you have all of these different ones. So that's fantastic. I'm going to want to knit that at some point as well.
And to be honest, I might knit more of them.
Yeah.
Because with one skein of yarn, like I said, there's a couple different shawl patterns that I do have. Like there's 100 Acre Wood is one. There's the Citron shawl is another. I'm a fan of semicircular, or is that what it's called? Crescent shawls. I'm not really a big fan of triangular shawls. So those are the ones that I tend to lean towards. So there's nothing wrong with the pattern. I love knitting this pattern. I have not stopped since Friday. I have not stopped knitting this. It's so mindless. It's so comfortable to get into the habit of, you know, memorizing the pattern. And I enjoy knitting it. So I might actually use it for other skeins of yarn that I don't know what to knit with.
And you said it's a garter?
No, it's stockinette.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's got here. It's really hard to see, but here is the row. Here's the stockinette, and then it has an eyelet row and then a drop stitch row.
Your nails are amazing once again. The way.
I got Christmas nails.
Oh my gosh, I love them.
Thank you. So do you have anything else? I did go to the yarn store yesterday, and I didn't even bring them in because they're very simple. So last week I talked about how I had frogged, or was going to frog, this towel that I started making with Aran weight yarn. There's a green one, there's a blue one, and there's a white, like a kind of white, grayish, bluish, mostly white yarn. And then I thought, oh my gosh, it's perfect for the Baa-Ble Hat. Baa-Ble, you know, the one with the sheep going around. There was a lady at Rhinebeck in line who had one. You know that hat with the sheep going around, and the pattern starts with BAA. Is it the one that has clouds and stuff in it?
I don't know if there's clouds, but there's definitely sheep around.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I have been wanting to knit that for a long time, and when I saw the lady at Rhinebeck, it just even more cemented that I want to knit that hat. So that yarn would be perfect for it because it calls for Aran weight. So I have the green for the grass, I have the blue for the sky, and then the sort of whitish yarn, and I needed black. So I got just a ball of black Aran weight yarn. I think I will make that a project for my post-surgery recovery. I have the yarn for that, so that's great. And then I got, Seth wants me to make him, now he's not going to get it for this year because I'm all about the Doctor Who, but there's a pattern called Mrs.Claus Pointy Hat. That's really sweet. and it takes worsted yarn. It's by Stephanie Lotvin, Telebean Knits. It came up on my Instagram feed. And do you want me to show it to you here, or
you can? I'll throw a picture up, but you can show it to me so I know what you're talking about. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And Seth said he wants a Christmas hat. Now, yeah, so I got the yarn for it. I just bought Cascade 220 in the red and the white. So I didn't even bother bringing the yarn in because it's not super exciting yarn. It's just basic stuff, but I am, it's just that planning stuff. I also went, while I was at the store, to something else. I was watching The Fat Squirrel, and she talked about Tiny Owl Knits. Sorry, I have something in my eye. Tiny Owl knits her Hedwig scarf. You know, the big owl scarf?
Mm-hmm.
And when she talked about it, I just went into must knit this. So I went at the yarn store. I found the yarn that I want to use for it. I just didn't buy it because I'm buying Christmas presents, and I thought, let me see what I get at Christmas. If I get, Christmas money, then I'll go back and I'll buy that. But at least it's good to know the yarn. Like, I can stop obsessing about it because I know the yarn that I can buy. I know that there's a lot of it there, and I know where I'm going with it. We're so easy, right? So that's kind of where else I've been. I'm really itching to spin, but I haven't had time again because of the Doctor Who. Also, speaking of Doctor Who, I put a post on Instagram. I am obsessed with the new Doctor sweater. I love the new season. I don't, do you watch Doctor Who?
I stopped watching it when they put Peter Capaldi in it.
Is he the old guy?
Yeah, I watched one season with him in it, and I didn't like it.
Okay, so I couldn't get into him either. But the new one with the woman is so good. It's so good. I love her, and I love the episodes, and I love the companions, and I love seeing characters from Coronation Street on the season. And it's like, it makes me so happy. I absolutely love it. And her sweater, I am obsessed. I want to knit one. It's navy blue, and what's confusing is in the ads, it's navy blue, but in one of the episodes I was watching yesterday, it's purple. But then the next episode, it's back to being navy. So I don't know what's going on with that. I think it's meant to be navy, but there's stripes along the bust. And I'm trying to figure out what colors those are. And wouldn't it be amazing if somebody made like a mini skein set to match those stripes? And then
that would be awesome.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I Googled, I need to do more Googling, but I want to figure out, or I'm hoping somebody has figured out what that stripe sequence is, what colors they are, because I want to knit that sweater.
Well, I would say give it some time, because you know that when Harry Potter came out and Hermione was wearing that sweater, that the Farewell sweater or whatever, the pattern came out like not too long after. So yeah. I would give it a little bit of time, and I guarantee you someone's going to mock up that pattern.
See, the pattern itself, I mean, it's a basic blue, it's a basic sweater that you could use I would do it in fingering weight, but you could grab any basic fingering weight sweater, and it would just be a matter of adding the stripe sequence in the front, right? Or the back. I don't know if you do it in the back. For me, it's really about, what are those colors? I was even thinking of going through my mini skeins. I might have those colors in my mini skeins. I don't know if they'd be enough to do the stripe, but I certainly wouldn't want to have to buy a skein of yarn of each color just for the stripe. So that's why if somebody
made a kit for it,
sequences, and then made kits specifically for it, that would be amazing. But
I feel like in order for there to be a kit, there has to be a pattern. So we'll see what happens.
I might not have to wait for that. I'm going to have to investigate a little bit more.
Well, you're a pattern designer. You might figure it out and do it.
I don't know if I can figure out how to knit a sweater, how to, like, I don't know that I want to design a sweater, but I might figure out the yarn, the color sequence. And
Yeah,
then,
but if you picked a pattern that was already done, like a raglan or whatever, and then just
made it.
threw in the stripes where you feel like they should go, that would work.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are my obsessions of the week.
So my obsession of the week is, I remember how we were talking about pom-poms?
Yeah.
So I went to my local yarn store who got pom-poms in, and I am obsessed with this pom-pom.
And was that a better price than what you, or was it in the $20 range?
It was $12, and I had my 20% off coupon, so I got it for $9 something.
And those
And it has both the string and the magnetic clasp. Have you seen the magnetic clasps yet?
I have a hat that has one of those. So you have to sew the base of the magnetic clasp?
Yeah, you have to sew this piece
right
onto the hat, but then it is a magnet, so you can take off your pom-pom so you can wash it. But
yeah, probably, and then you can also wear your hat without the pom-pom if you want to, which is the benefit of that.
That is true also. I was actually going to make a slouchy hat, and then I decided against it because I don't think a slouchy hat looks good with the pom-pom. I feel like it needs to go here. But this is why I love enhancing my stash and just buying yarn for no reason, because eventually you might find something perfect. All right. I went in my stash and was like, what matches this pom-pom yarn? And of course, because not pom-pom yarn, what matches this unicorn pom-pom?
Oh no.
Knitty in color, bitchin' colorway.
That's amazing, bitchin'. Amazing.
Like, it's perfect. So I have one skein of this, and I got 2 of these pom-poms, and I think I can make a hat for me and Brenna out of one skein.
Right.
I mean, she's only 7, her head's not that big. So I'm super excited about this, and this might be a cast on that comes quickly, but I'm gonna have to I've never knit a fingering hat before, so what's
really good is the sock head hat.
Right, but the sock head hat's slouchy.
Just make it shorter. You don't have to make it that long. It's really, the slouchiness is because you make it a certain length. If you make it shorter, it'll just fit in your, it'll just fit on your head. You just stop where you want.
Well, I know with the size 0 needles, I get 8 stitches per inch. So 8 stitches per inch, and my head is like 22 inches because I have a small head. So 8 times 22, whatever, minus 10% is what I'm going to cast on.
Right. Okay.
So it's easy. That's my hat formula, by the way, for anyone that was wondering. That's stitches per inch, circumference of the head minus 10% to get rid of ease.
Oh, that is an amazing, amazing combination right there.
Okay, it gets, not that it gets better. I don't think it gets better than that. But here's pom-pom number 2.
Oh, wow.
So here's pom-pom number 2, which pairs perfectly with
when I go down to see you and we go to Maryland, can you take me to this? We need to go to
yes.
yarn.
Yes. So this pairs perfectly with Hedgehog Fibers Merino DK.
Nice. Oh, that's amazing. Yes.
So this is going to be another hat.
This is why we stash things.
This is why we stash things, because you never know what's going to be in your stash. I mean, I'm so excited about these. And I'm not really like, I don't mind knitting hats, but like I wasn't really wearing hats a lot, and now I'm starting to wear them a lot more. So now I want to knit more hats.
Yeah. I wasn't wearing hats when I had my poof, but now that my hair's short, I wear my hat every day. It's cold here. But I just like endured the cold when I had my hair up because I didn't want to ruin my hair. Mm-hmm. Now I'm just like, yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And yep. So that's all I have. I got nothing.
No. Oh my God, nothing. Listen, remember anyway, one of the other shows I showed the hat that had torn. And I said I'd probably have to frog that. And last week you were talking about your single ply yarn, and you didn't want to make a garment out of it because it might tear. That hat was made out of single ply, so maybe that's why it tore. Like, not, I mean, it's just a hat, but if it snagged on my zipper when I was pulling it out of my purse or something, maybe because it's single ply and it's not as strong, maybe that's why it tore more easily. I kind of thought about that.
It very well could be.
Yeah.
That's why single ply yarns are better for accessories. Right. I mean, now granted, I know your hat is an accessory and it ripped, but it's not good for garments.
Right. Yeah. So I'm so excited about your pom-poms and your yarn. That's amazing. When you find, when I went to the yarn store and I was looking at the, when I went to the yarn store and was looking at the yarn I can use for the Hedwig shawl, I realized that I have some Barocco flicker, which is worsted, and it's this really soft. It's almost like the yarn looks like it's, I don't know how to.
All right, so you said Barocco flicker, and I feel like this yarn is discontinued, right?
I don't know, but I bought it years ago.
Because I think we've talked about this, and I think we have the same yarn. I don't know. It might not be.
Really?
I talked about this with someone, and I have a Barocco yarn that's multicolored, and it's like soft spun or like twisted.
Yeah, it's like when you get that yarn that looks like it's knitted, and it's like blown air in it or whatever. I don't think I'm explaining it well at all.
Okay, maybe it's not the same yarn.
Point being, I have some gray in that I can use for, because the Hedwig shawl is mostly a natural color, like a white, and then you have gray in it. And I have the gray flicker, so, which is kind of nice because I could use the gray that I already have and just get the white stuff, which is kind of nice. Speaking of stashing and matching, So I won't show it here, but it looks like it almost looks like a knitted yarn. I don't know how to say that. Yes, you're right. It's discontinued. It's chainette. The texture is chainette.
Okay, that's not the same yarn I was talking about.
Yeah. So anyway, I also went to the fabric store because this time of year there's always sales, and this is a great time of year to buy Christmas fabric for next year. So I got this really cute
oh, I love it.
Yeah, there's reindeer and little chipmunks and rabbits and birds and raccoons. It's really cute. And this will be, so this is for my knotted bags. This will be the inside.
Oh my God, it's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, I think this one I will make reversible because I like, so when I have an inside bag, when I have a lining fabric that is white or very light or not super interesting, I mean, I always choose fabrics that I like, but you know what I mean? I wouldn't make it the external fabric. I just do it normally, but when I love both the fabrics and I think this would make a great outside, fabric, then I make it reversible.
I agree with you.
Yeah. The other one I got, are you ready? I love this so much. It's this.
Ooh.
Can you see it's like knitted stitches?
It's knitted.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's like a knitted fabric. It's amazing. And then I did the same, the inside is the red snowflake. So I think this one will also be completely reversible.
That's awesome.
I don't make them all completely reversible because it's more work. So, So then I got these kitty cats.
Oh.
Can you see that? I can't tell if it's
Yeah, I can see it.
okay. I also got this fabric for I've been wanting to make sweater bags again. I have not made, even though I started making my bags again last year, I haven't made any sweater bags. Because again, they're more work. But I got some fabric for sweater bags. I also wanted to get fabric that has bigger patterning for the bigger sweater bags. So I got this really pretty fabric.
Oh, it's roses.
Yes, isn't it gorgeous?
Yes.
And this one is actually a quilting quilt back fabric. So it's super wide.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I love it.
It's very colorful. I like it.
Very bright and colorful. I went through my fabric stash looking to see if I have fabric for the lining. So the Christmas fabric will be for next year, Christmas season. And the sweater bags, I might start working. I have to wash the fabric, iron it before I start cutting it. But I've got to make sure that I have the lining so that I don't have to buy it. Otherwise, I'll go buy lining fabric. But if I have the fabric for it, I might start cutting into them over the holidays.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to do them again. So here's the other thing: is I was going through my stash. Last year, I purchased. So I make market bags as well. I don't make those very often either. I have to pull out a whole other table because I don't have a crafting room. So when I make this stuff, I have to pull everything out, put it back away. And for my market bag, it's like a yard and a half of fabric. I'm off, off the top of my head. The whole piece, the handles that are attached, they're not sewn on. It's one piece of fabric. So I need the full table just to be able to cut that fabric. And I like making those bags with a heavier, like a duck cotton. Even though I've made them with the regular quilting cotton, I just like the idea of having it be a more sturdy fabric.
And so just so everyone knows what we're talking about, a market bag is a side crossbody tote.
Yes. So the base is the same size. Yeah, because you have one, right? The base same size as my sweater bag, but I've made really, really long handles that are not attached, and then shorter handles. And the long handles get knotted wherever you want, still a knotted bag. But the beauty of it, it's a crossbody, so it fits your body really well. And then you make the knot wherever it suits you. I made a bag out of quilting cotton for my friend. And he's very tall and he's a bigger guy and it fits him. So it can fit anybody, any body. You just, of course, for him, the knot's almost near the top of the handles, but he can still, it's perfect for him. And you can adjust the bag to be at your waist or by your hips or whatever it is that you want. So yeah. And I don't make that many of them.
I love mine.
Yeah, I love mine too. I wear it whenever I'm gone for the day, or I go to a market, or I go somewhere out that I'm gone all day. Or I think I had mine at Rhinebeck. It's the perfect bag. It really is. So I bought this fabric last year at Joanne.
It's cute.
Can't find really fun duck cotton fabric, like heavy fabric here. The fabric store has some, but it's really for upholstery and things like that. So the patterns are kind of boring. So these dogs were really cute. And then the other one that I got was these birds. I might have bought this one here. I'm not sure. These really cute birdies.
Those are beautiful.
So here's my thing. I don't know if I want to keep these for market bags anymore, if I want to make sweater bags out of them.
I would make a sweater bag out of the dogs, and I would make a market bag out of the birds.
And I was thinking the reverse, because this is a very pale base. I'm always nervous about making a sweater bag or like a project bag with this. Whereas a market bag, it's sitting on your body. It's not going to be hanging. It's not going to be sitting on the ground and getting dirty.
Yeah, I just don't know if I would wear dogs.
Dog lovers might. No?
I am a dog lover. But yeah, no, I see what you're saying about it getting dirty.
Although I see other people making bags that are white all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did not buy a fabric that I saw on sale the other day because it was white. It was so beautiful. It was this whole sort of landscape of deer, like reindeer with
Mm-hmm.
a horse. It would have been so beautiful for a sweater bag, but it was that whole white background. I thought, I don't know, like I wouldn't want that because it would just get dirty all the time. So
Yeah.
So you're thinking sweater with this and then market bag with this one.
Yeah.
I'll see. Maybe I have enough fabric to make one of each.
Maybe.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
Anyway, so that's my fabric enhancement.
Yeah, fabric enhancement. I like it. It fits.
Fabric I don't usually buy anymore, but when everything's like 40% off, it's the perfect time. If it's $6 a meter, you know, it's worth going to check it out.
Stash enhancement, stash enhancement.
You know? Yeah. So that's it for me, my friend.
That's it for me too.
There you go. All right.
Oh, did I even forget to mention that the yarn was knitted wit in Christmas balls? I'm gonna have to put that on the screen. So
I'm kind of envious of all of the. So your store seems to have a lot of indie dyer stuff in it.
it has knitted wit. It has I think it's called Hot Yarns, Hot something. It has a local dyer. I don't remember her name. Yeah, it does have a lot of indie dyers. She was able to get a lot, which is really awesome. Oh, she has Dream in Color, and then she has Art Yarns. Art is that the Canadian one? Art Yarns, I'm pretty sure. That's what it's called. Huh?
Art Still?
No, I think it's called Art Yarns, but she has them too. So she does have a lot of indie dyers, and I love it because I keep getting had. Like I keep going in there and I keep ending up with more yarn. But I find that I like indie dyed stuff. I think that hand dyed yarn is absolutely gorgeous. So I tend to lean more towards those than just commercial dyed yarn.
Yeah.
The only thing she doesn't have is Malabrigo yet, and I'm hoping she gets it because Malabrigo is like my favorite.
Oh, I love Malabrigo too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
For today.
Yeah.
I'm hoping next week I'll have more, like I'll have the Doctor Who done and I will have started something else. I'm staying away from, even though I got excited about the fabric, I don't think I'm going to work on the bags this week. I'm going to take a break from that and then maybe do some spinning again.
I don't think I'm going to spin. I think my spinning is on a hold for right now. I usually do my most spinning in the summer because I don't like knitting in the summer for some reason. Okay. So I'm always like reverse with it.
I don't think it's reverse. It just is what it is.
Well, you would think that I wouldn't want to spin in the summer because my hands, you know, like it's hotter.
I totally lost you.
Nope, sorry. I got a phone call.
Okay. That's okay.
So, yeah, you would think that because my hands are sweaty that, you know, working with the fiber that I wouldn't want to, but I find that like, I don't know, I just like spinning in the summer.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, if we have nothing else, then if you liked our video, please subscribe and share, get the word out that we are podcasting and leave a comment below. So that you are eligible for a giveaway. We're aiming for 100 subscribers is when we're doing our giveaway. We have 32 strong, awesome subscribers right now. and counting. So thank you everyone who subscribed and everyone for watching.
And also we have a Ravelry group. And I started a thread on the I Dream of Knitting. And so I can't remember how many people I put in there. But with a certain amount, when we get to a certain amount of people who have contributed to that thread, you can chit chat in there. You can post more than once, but each person is one time, has like one, is eligible once, I guess. It's not like if you post 5 times, you'll get 5 names in the draw. But when I get to a certain amount of people who have posted in this thread, then we'll draw for something as well. And it's really just like, what patterns are you thinking of knitting and dreaming of knitting? I just find that occupies so much of my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever I am, even if I'm not knitting, I'm thinking about what I could be knitting. So
yeah, I'm with you.
And obviously we do that on every episode. Whenever we're talking, we talk about, like, you know, on the episode, and when we're just chatting, we're talking about what we'd like to knit. And so it's a big part, I think, of what happens with us knitters.
I think so too, because it helps me try to figure out like what I'm going to use my yarn for.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into my stash, I think, today and see what else I've got in worsted and see what else I've got in lace, what I have in lace, so that I can dream a little bit more about my lace version of my worsted waist, Ruana.
Dream a little dream of me.
All right, we're gonna keep talking if we don't just shut it down. So
all right, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.